How's it hanging, everybody? It's your boy Malik here today, and I hope you're hungry because I have a donut right here. A plain donut. It's pretty basic, nothing fancy, but if you're hungry, just turn off the video or skip like 30 seconds and I'm gonna take a bite out of this, alright? If you're fasting or whatever.
A few moments later.
This is good. This is good. Hold on. Good, alright? Always have something to wash it down, alright? And a plain donut. I'm a simple guy. Alright. But what I want to talk about with you today is something that's been scratching my brain today for the last couple of days. And it been bothering the heck out of me. Not bothering the heck out of me, but it has been on my mind for a minute. Okay, what the hell is Chopper going to talk to Biblo about? Because Biblo, the ancient owl that has been on Elbaf for centuries at this point, has basically been in the background. He has basically been the first person we see at the Owl Library, aptly named, by the way, which I'm wondering if that library was there long since he got there, because Saul said it best. Biblo has been here for a few hundred years, and we know when Harold became king, he instituted all these major reforms to try to end Elbaf's Viking and warmongering ways and try to get it back into the good graces of the rest of the world and try to open Elbaf up. But so that leads me to believe, okay, so was the Owl Library named after him, or was he always there and was just called the Owl Library because he was there? Because Biblo has just been this mysterious character that's been in the background, and I'm going to keep saying it. Oda has been laying it on thick. He has revealed that, not revealed, but Saul basically just said, hey, Biblo, I think there's more to you than meets the eye. And Biblo just responds with the ... and he's just looking like his eyes are squinting, and he's like, oh man, they're on to me. They're on to me. They're on to me. I can't let these people know what I am. And fun fact about Biblo, his name comes from Latin and Greek biblia. And if you say this phrase in Spanish, ¿Dónde está biblioteca? Where's the library? That's the some high school Spanish I remember. So I don't know if you're fluent in Spanish or not. I know most people who watch my videos are English. I have a few Filipino viewers. So if you're from the Philippines, I'm assuming you guys speak Spanish. I know that's secondary language, if I remember correctly. But back to the video, okay? What I want to talk about today is Biblo and Chopper's conversation, because I kind of want to theorize and just cook a little bit and see where this is going to go. Because, again, this has just been weird on my brain. This owl has been here for centuries, and he has the right kind of devil fruit that Elbaf's libraries need in order to function, and he's been here the whole time. So let's kind of like set the stage for what happened, how we got here. So when we arrive at Elbaf, Robin has her just glorious reunion with Saul. They're crying. Everybody's just bawling their eyes out. They're all just like, oh, this is amazing. I'm so happy. And then we go to the library, and then here comes Owl Man Biblo. Biblo is the owl, and he has the powers of the grow fruit. And Biblo, I'm just going to pull it up right here because I have the wiki page right in front of me. Biblo has it's pronounced the economia, right? This devil fruit essentially allows Biblo to basically control the size of whatever he decides. He wants to make the newspaper bigger? Boom! You can read the newspaper, giants. You want to make the book smaller so humans can read it? Boom! He's right there for you. But Biblo, again, has the perfect devil fruit for the land of Elbaf. And I'm like, wait, hold on. You're telling me this owl person has been here for hundreds of years and he's got the right devil fruit for the situation? Okay, what am I missing? What's going on here? Because Biblo, again, has just been in the backgrounds. He's just been chilling. And he doesn't speak human. We know that. He just hoots the entire time. Also, just the fact that he's wearing glasses just leads me to believe that this owl is far more, like, than meets the eye. Like the way Saul said it, he was like, this owl, there's more to you than meets the eye. And Biblo, again, just in the background, we just thinking, oh yeah, that's Biblo. He's been here for a few hundred years. I'd first ask, does anybody know, like, how long? Can we get a date? Can we get a date? And I believe Lilith hypothesized that, oh yeah, this is about to be at least, Elbaf's at least a few thousand years old. So has he been here the whole time? I know Elder Yarul is the oldest living giant. He's like 400 years old. Does he know Biblo? He's like, oh yeah, Biblo, he's been here since I was a kid. And I'm like, okay, so he's at least over 400 years old. We can go back further. And I'll get to why I think that is. And Biblo has just been in the background. And so then the story really picks up when the God's Knights basically arrive and say, yeah, Harold, what's all this peace-loving stuff? Well, what's all this non-violence and schooling and up? No. Elbaf is warland. You are supposed to be warriors for us. Fuck this school shit. Shut it down. Everybody pick up a blade, and we're conscripting you to be the government's weapons. And they have the kids hostage, and Killingham and Summers basically tell Yarul, hey, make a decision, either the school or the kids. And then Yarul gives the order. His great-granddaughter's there, and he's like, yeah, go ahead, burn it. Angie, the biology teacher, gets down the torch and burns the school. And I know that was like a year ago, so time flies. I personally never thought the books were any trouble. I just didn't think there was any way those books could get burned. I'm like, they're going to be safe. Somebody's going to pull some trapdoor or some kind of thing. But no. The person who didn't save the books wasn't some trapdoor. No, it was Biblo, who moved them all to the basement. Okay, I'm going to read it again. The owl who does not speak, who just says hoots hoots, who has the grow fruit, basically just decided, oh yeah, no, I'm going to shrink all these books and move them to the basement. And then, right on cue, this is when all hell breaks loose with, like Emu taking over Gunko. We have the whole, Rocks and Harold flashback and everything going on. So we kind of like forget about this. But this owl decides, again, he's hundreds of years old and he decides, yeah, okay, you're not taking my book. And I'm hoping to God this is like some Wan Shi Tong Avatar, or better yet, some kind of like Owl House. If you've seen the show Owl House. If you've not seen the Avatar Last Airbender or Owl House, pause this video, come back, watch both series. It's actually a phenomenal series. But what was it saying? Okay, sorry, ADHD brain. We have freaking Biblo. And Biblo has just been in the background, just doing his thing. And then the scene, I'm just going to keep bringing up until we see what happens. Saul and Robin arrive, and they see all the books saved, and they're like, what happened? And Biblo just moved down to the basement. And Saul just responds, I think there's more to you than meets the eye. You think so, buddy? Saul, I love you. You got a PhD. You think the owl that's hundreds of years old is more than meets the eye? Yeah, I think so too. All right. And so then we basically cut away towards, I believe, 2 chapters ago, 1189, is when Robin uses her flower powers to teleport a clone to Chopper, and she says, hey, Chopper, I'm going to need you to speak to this owl because he's going to spit some crazy lore, and I need a translator. And then so that's where we go from there. So now that I've kind of like set the stage for Biblo, let's talk about what I think is going to happen. So first thing off first, okay? Let's just see. There's a few ways this could go down. So let's get the Chopper elephant size out of the room. People have been theorizing this because Chopper, when he was battling against the Domi Reverse Giants, was able to hit them really, really hard and undo Domi Reverse. How this works, I have no idea. Maybe Chopper is the forest god. I have no idea. And so I'll segue into this. If Chopper is the forest god, freaking Biblo, who has been around for hundreds of years old, who I'm almost 90% certain he's from the Void Century, could have been like, yeah, kid, I don't know how to break this to you, but your devil fruit isn't what it is. Because fun fact about Biblo, he and Chopper are one of the few, Biblo is the only animal that ate a paramecia devil fruit. All the animals that have eaten devil fruits are some kind of zoan type. We've seen this with Pierre and Skypiea. He can turn into a horse, or half horse, half bird, Pegasus. Stronger, for some weird reason, ate a Pegasus fruit, which, okay, he's a horse already, so I guess that somehow fits. Obviously, Chopper ate the human fruit. Onimaru from Wano, he ate the human fruit mythical zoan model. Mountain Bandit. And so, yeah, this somehow, again, he's like the only person that is eaten, the only animal that ate a devil fruit that is not a zoan type. All the other ones we've seen are zoan types. Now, they're inanimate objects that have eaten devil fruits, but how that still works, I have no idea how that works, but it still does. Although that might tie into Elbaf, because as far as we know, Ragnir is the oldest living non-sentient object that ate devil fruit, because he's a hammer that ate a Ratatoskr fruit. So maybe during the Void Century era, during the Ancient Kingdom era, they had the technology to create not artificial devil fruits, but turn objects feed objects devil fruits and giving them powers, because apparently Vegapunk had rediscovered this technology, so maybe that ties into there. I have no idea. But no, he probably could just see Chopper and be like, oh yeah, kid, you're the forest god, and Chopper can be like, wait, I am? Yeah. So I'm going to explain to you some things you need to know about the Void Century, about the ancient kingdoms, about everything that's going on, and get your place in this world. So get ready, have fun with that, kid. And he just drops massive lore again. Is Chopper the Forest God? I have no idea. I don't want this to turn into Naruto, where the MCs, Naruto and Sasuke, are the reincarnations of demigods. That's spoilers for Naruto, by the way, but that's how that ends. And so I just don't want this to turn into a situation where we see, every single Straw Hat is someone related to somebody important, or, well, let's put it this way. Zoro being related to Ryuma via his grandmother, I'm okay with. I don't want this to be every single Straw Hat is like a god or something. Like Luffy having Nika, fruit powers and everything, he's the MC, I'm fine with that, but I don't want everybody to turn into this way. Like, turns out, Nami was a member of royalty, and the Celestial Dragon descended at that. I'm joking, but I'm being serious. That could actually just dead ass could happen. Like, Nami could be like, what happened with Gunko, or other shit like this. But no, he could just drop the lore and be like, yeah, you're the sun god, this is how you can do what you can do, how you're able to take out those dummy reverse giants. That's all well and good. So that's one way to look at it. Okay, another way, and this is something important that I actually want to bring up, my main point I want to bring up for this video, is he is going to explain a few things to Chopper that are going to help them in this fight. Number one, how to get rid of Emu. So let's just put this out, okay? So the Holy Knight's plan basically involved coming to Elbaf via the pentagram that Harold drew. I hate Harold. I really do. If you're still watching this video 11 minutes in, I hate Harold. If you have anything about me and my channel, I don't fuck with Harold at all. I just do not. For the crap he was pulling when he was king, all the way up until the day he died, I'm out with Harold. I'm sorry, I don't. And they're still paying off his bills today, because how did the God's Knights get to Elbaf? The fucking pentagram. How did Emu descend into Elbaf? The goddamn pentagram. So Biblo will probably pull Chopper aside and be like, listen. You want to stop this monster and these freaks here taking over Elbaf? And Chopper's like, yes. Okay, this is what you're going to need to do, okay? You are now going to have to go to basically the pentagram, and you're going to have to destroy it. And he's like, wait, how does that work? Biblo's going to be like, okay, listen to what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to import a bunch, and I mean a shit ton, massive-sized hockey into the pentagram, and that will undo it. Because this is how we saw this at Egghead. If you pour enough hockey into, at the Gorosei or at the pentagram, that will basically reverse summon everybody who arrived via the pentagram. Now, with the exception, I think pretty much everybody arrived there via the pentagram, with the exception of Gunko / Shuri. Actually, no, they arrived via the pentagram. They arrive via the summoning circle. So that leads me to believe that they can get there whenever they want to. And so he says, you want to undo it? You have to completely erase the hockey. Just get rid of it, pour all of it in there, and just wipe it off. That will undo the summoning, and it will basically eject those pieces of shits out of here, and Elbaf can be saved all over. Because I'm going to be straight with you. No way in hell the Straw Hats beat Emu. I wouldn't even be mad if Sanji and Zoro lose their respective fights, because I think there needs to be a time skip. I'm of the opinion that has to happen. Like, there has to be a time skip, because like the gap is widening to the point where, like, when they got to Wano, the gap closed, and so a 2-year time skip meant nothing. And then after since Wano, like, with the invention of Gear 5, Zoro's new 3-sword style, Conqueror's hockey techniques, like, they were starting to hit with heavy hitters, but now they're fighting the Devil Man, Emu, and empowered up Goro and empowered up God's Knights. Like, I just don't see a situation where they win. I'm being completely frank with you. I am totally okay with them losing, and then, them doing the kind of thing where they say, okay, because Emu's huffing and puffing, if you've seen the last few chapters, he's basically starting to take his toll, because when he first descended into Elbaf back in 1179, crazy, that was in April. It's been over 4 months. He's been here for 4 months, and he's basically put everybody in check. And he's like, okay, I'm done with this shit. We're done. And he immediately cleans house. And so the Straws and, the Elbaf's giants don't really have a way of counteracting, Emu. Like, they just don't. Like, we saw Gabon, who objectively was the strongest hockey user, safe for Emu, on the island, and he got absolutely packed up. Like, he had no chance. Like, objectively speaking, he had no chance. And yeah, I just don't see a situation where they win. So Biblo will be like, listen, you want to get rid of them? you want to get rid of them, you want to stop them, this is what you got to do. You got to go destroy that pentagram, pour enough Conqueror's Haki into it, and then that will undo the summoning, and then everybody who arrived via the summoning circle gets ejected. Now, would that mean Shuri gets sent back as well? Because I'm going to get into that later, okay? So the second thing I think he's going to bring up to Chopper is, people have theorized this, I'm not mad at this, how they're going to basically stop, how they're going to wake up Shuri. Because Shuri, as we know it, has been taken over by Emu various times. Literally had the Shuri almost certainly has the deep sea, or not deep sea, the abyssal sea covenant level 3 one, where you stop aging and you basically can get taken over or possessed by Emu whenever. And excuse me, that would Shuri's supposed to be 77 years old, so she still has life left in her. It's not like with Saturn, when Saturn's power was revoked, Emu was like, yeah, no, you're aging on the spot, and all those centuries just caught up to him like that. But no, I just think he's going to be like, this is probably one of the lesser ones, but he probably could be like, okay, this happened. You know, if you want to save her from the demonic position of the Great One, you're going to need to do X, Y, and Z. If you do that, we stand a chance of saving her. If you don't, she's going to die. Like, there's not much I can do at this point. But that's what I think else is the main theories of what's going to happen with Shuri, and as well as, you know, how to get rid of Emu. Now, something else I want to bring up, and this is something that I may make a video on if this does well, is the Heaven Realm. Okay, we've been in Elbaf for almost 2 years now, and we still haven't gotten any information on the Heaven Realm. And I saw a video a couple days ago talking about how the Heaven Realm is most likely the area that Gonfall talked about in Skypiea, how you can get back to the Sky Islands if you go through there. So, roughly, I believe it's like 7,000 and 10,000 meters, you can create sky clouds. And we see this in Elbaf where you have like those little cloud, you know, the altitude's right for those cloud covers for those long ships. So, is Biblo from the Heaven Realm, and is he basically you know, from there, and he's like, listen, okay, I've got some information for you that you need to listen to me and hear me out. And then he could also, this also could relate to something else, because in Norse mythology, you have the Yggdrasil world tree. At the very bottom, you have Nidhogg gnawing at the roots, preventing overgrowth. We know who the Nidhogg is. What if there is a giant eagle, like the giant eagle that's to top the world tree, and on top of that eagle, there is a small hawk that nestles in its head? People were theorizing that was Loki. That Loki was, you know, Loki had that devil fruit. They also had the Fenrir fruit, which I didn't believe because, I mean, that didn't really make any sense narratively speaking, because he has a wolf, he has a black wolf, and that didn't really make much sense to me. But no, what if there's a giant eagle, and that eagle does exist, and Biblo is the hawk that represents in its on top of its head, and it could just be chilling there, and it comes down to between the astral, well, I guess Heaven Realm is a better word of looking at it, the Heaven Realm and the Sun Realm, as basically kind of like a knowledge keeper and sharing information. And yeah, that could be something there where Biblo is that. I'm still not sure on how all this is going to tie into like the whole idea of how they're going to defeat Emu if he is a giant eagle. Because if that would be cool. Okay, sidebar. Remember when mythical zones were more rare than Logias? That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed, because if that's the case, if Biblo is that, then that means it's what, 14 mythical zones to 13 Logias if you don't count the Gorosei. Or Emu for that matter. We wouldn't even count Emu because that's not even in myth. That's the devil's root. He's just the devil. But yeah, that's what I wanted a little rant today about, my thoughts on everything that's going to happen in the next few chapters with Biblo and Chopper. But if you're a fan in this video, please, for me, I'd really appreciate it if you'd smash that like, comment, subscribe button. Anything goes a long way against the algorithm. Until next time, deuces, fam.